Alright guys, Scott Teague with you back again, and some of you have asked me to do an update layout tour because y'all couldn't understand the layout, how it was going to work and all that from the old one. But this is the den. Excuse the mess. It's a lot of clutter from the old layout, and I hate it. I cannot stand clutter. About to strike a match to it, but yeah, that's how I feel. But this is the staging yards of the old layout. As you see, Williamson staging's here, Bluefield staging's underneath, used to be. But the two tracks is still coming around the wall and going into the steps here. Now they will stay as is. I'm not going to mess with the staging yards. But if we follow a train out of Bluefield staging, used to be Bluefield staging, if we follow it on the bottom here, and it goes through the wall, and then we go into the layout room here, it will come out right here underneath the steps. It's double track, and then it goes to single track. Then it'll make the loop here. And this all be mountains and tunnels and stuff like that. I don't know yet, but it'll come around here, go around this 36-inch radius curve here into the town. I don't know the name of the town yet. Haven't got that far, but it will make its way on the first level here through this big town. A lot of industries will be in here, stuff like that. Don't know yet, but I think there's about 5 or 6 industries I can put in here. And then it makes its way out of the town over this little creek here, and it's got a siding. It's got a little center siding, a siding, and the main line here for local switching to do its work for the center siding here. You can drop off cars or whatever. 2 tracks here, the siding, and the main line is over the through truss bridge here. And then it goes to single track around this big peninsula. And I'll try to broaden it out here for you can see. So it comes through the town, around the siding here, goes around, and then we hit the yard. Now the yard, you know, in the old layout used to be on the other side. Now the yard here is on this side of the wall, but it has a long siding. As you see, a coal train is parked here in the siding. Then you got this big yard. I think it has about 7, 8 tracks in here, but it's longer than what flat top yard used to be, so a lot more cars can be handled here. But we go around through the yard to the other side, and each side of the yard has a long throat where the yard switcher can switch cars without getting on the main line. That was one of the problems of the old layout. One side didn't have a yard lead, and it was a lot of trouble. But you see the siding here, and the main line comes down through here. And then the siding ends here, goes to double track. Then it starts its climb up grade here. And then we hit the other side of the wall here, yard here, this side, and it will climb up the grade into where the pushers will be housed. As you see here, has a main line here, a center siding here for the pushers to sit, and a siding track. Now the pushers will be stationed here. There'll be like a yard office, stuff like that. But there's a room for 2 sets of pushers to set in this track here. And the trains will run up through here. As you see back there, there's the yard. They'll make their way up here. And then they'll either go in the siding or the main line. And they'll stop around here. This is where my paint room used to be, and it still is. I haven't. I'm not going to change it, so it'll still be here. But it'll run on the back side of here, and this is where farm used to be. This section here. So if y'all are familiar with the old layout, this is where farm used to be. But getting back to the trains, they'll come up here, and then they will stop here and let the pushers on. So that's one thing that I wanted was pusher service in either direction. So you got either way, pushers are going to have to be on the trains for dynamic brakes coming down the hill and a lot of horsepower to get them up the hill. So that's going to be interesting. But right here and in this main line we have that comes off, we have the paper mill, and it has its own little yard here. I don't know if that building probably won't stay there. It's just sitting there for now. But it's got its own signal here, and a long little yard here to work the paper mill. And it's going to be a pretty big paper mill. I mean, it's right now I just got it laid out to just see how it's going to look, but it might not stay this way. But you can handle a lot of cars, tank cars, box cars, hopper cars. I mean, you name it. There's going to be a lot of switching here. Wood chip cars. This is the wood chip. This will be the wood chip track here. But you see, from the main line, it comes up here and then it stops here because it's single track here. So the trains will stop here on the main line, and then they'll start climbing a 1.2, 1.3% grade behind the wood, the paper mill here. And then it goes into a long stretch of mountains and tunnels. And down here, before we get off to over there, this is not finished yet. So the main line right here will come past the paper mill. And I haven't got it built yet, but it'll go under this section here, the main line here. So it'll go all the way down this wall here in the future, and I can attach it to where the track comes in from the lower level, and I can continuous run if I want to. If somebody's here looking at the layout, I don't have to worry about from point to point. I can let a train run, you know, around and around the lower level. So that'll be nice to have. But getting back to the main line, it comes up 1.2, 1.3% grade, and then it starts into the mountainous tunnel section here. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4 tunnels on this whole section here. So this is nothing be mountains and tunnels in the future. Just got it rough laid out. But it starts climbing to the second grade. And you see we got a knot under here, still have a duck under at the door. And then I went ahead and scenic this area here, as most of you have seen. Comes around the curve through the old bridge that used to be right here at the door, the old layout. Put it here. And then it comes into a little town here. at the top level. There's the bottom level we just seen. And it'll have a few industries here coming off of here. One, and then they have one back there and one up here. Have about 3. But then it'll go around the curve following the lower level. And then we enter a coal branch line here. And this goes all the way around the wall following the main line at the top level. And this coal loader will handle a lot of coal, a lot of trains. It's got a 3-track staging yard here for coal cars. And then the main line continues on around to the top peninsula. There's the bottom, the top. And I went ahead and scenic this part because I wanted to see what kind of scenic stuff that I wanted to use and the style of this layout from the old one. So I went ahead and scenic this ballast track yesterday. So it's all wet and put down and stuff, but waiting on it to dry. Carved these rock and the trees and all that. Everything that I can use from the old layout I'll use. Carve this rock. Then it goes around the curve here. There'll be a road here coming off the tracks. And then, like I said, I got to name this location here Black Rock, and you'll see what I mean. There's one black rock here, and this is called Black Rock. So it goes around the curve here from the bottom peninsula. It just follows the terrain out off the bottom. And all these rocks that you see are hand carved. Then it comes, the siding ends right here. So this siding goes all the way around to all the way down there past the coal loader. So it's a long siding. It can probably almost handle 2 trains in the siding if you wanted to. I don't know about the big trains, but it's a lot of trackage. But then it goes into single track here. And then it will go over the bridge that y'all seen in past videos. Right there. Now all this is scenic and almost done with the scenic stuff. There might be a little bit more small details and stuff, you know, that I put in and around, but did the fascia board. Now a lot of you is going to ask me what the fascia board is. This is sheetrock mud, and what I do, I just spackle it on in different places, and then when I paint it, I think it looks good. I don't like the smooth fascia boards. I like kind of a texture to it, but that's what it'll be when all this dries and it gets painted black. I know it looks crazy now, but it looks good when it's all painted black. But it continues over the bridge and down here to a cut that I hand carved. You can see the railroad had blasted the rock out to get the track in here. But it'll come down the curve here and it's going a little bit downgrade. And right here there's a siding, and this will be a future track here in the foreground. You just got cork right here, but it'll go around this top here. As you see the bottom from where I showed you, it'll go around this top wall here from where the pusher service is and all that on the lower level. It will come around and connect to the top level here. Now the trains will exit the layout through this hole, and it will go into, let me show you here. I know y'all will, you have to walk around here, but it will exit the layout on the other side, and then it will, I made these little cubby holes here, but you can't see back in there, it's too dark, but they'll exit through the back here. And let me see if I can get some light on here. Okay, it will exit here behind the layout into the stairway, and it will go through the top, and that was the old Williamson staging at the top here. So you got the top and you got the bottom coming out of the old Bluefield staging through here. And that's the end of the run. I mean, it's pretty straightforward if you see it in person, but it's kind of hard to visualize on camera. But I think it's going to be, I got a longer run than I did the old one. So I hope this helps. I'll be making some more videos here shortly. But if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. And until next time, guys, stay safe and happy modeling.